Welcome back to the Lost Book of Herbal Remedies. I'm Alex, and as always, I'm here with my co-host, Emma. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's incredibly important for millions of people: the connection between eating meat, particularly red and processed meat, and the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Emma, this is such a critical issue, isn't it?
Absolutely, Alex. The link between diet and type 2 diabetes is becoming increasingly clear, especially when we look at the role of red and processed meats. These types of meat have been staples in many diets worldwide, but their impact on our health, particularly on metabolic health, is quite concerning.
Exactly. Numerous studies have now established a strong correlation between high meat consumption and an increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes. But what's really fascinating is the specific components in these meats, like heme iron and unhealthy fats, that seem to play a pivotal role in this increased risk. So Emma, where should we start?
Let's begin with haem iron, which is predominantly found in red and processed meats. Heme iron is more readily absorbed by the body compared to non-heme iron from plant sources, but this isn't necessarily a good thing. A study involving over 200,000 participants found that those with the highest heme iron intake had a 26% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those with the lowest intake.
That's right. And it's not just about the iron itself. It's also about how heme iron interacts with other processes in the body. The study you mentioned also noted that haem iron intake correlates with adverse plasma profiles related to insulin resistance, lipids, and inflammation. This suggests that haem iron might contribute directly to the pathogenesis of type 2 diabetes by exacerbating these metabolic issues.
And it doesn't stop there. The same study identified specific metabolites like L-valine and uric acid that could be mediators in the haem iron type 2 diabetes relationship. This gives us a clearer picture of how dietary factors, particularly from meat consumption, can influence our metabolic health and increase the risk of chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes.
It's really eye-opening. But let's also talk about the broader health impacts of eating red and processed meat. Recent research, including an umbrella review of 40 meta-analyses, has highlighted strong associations between high consumption of these meats and various adverse health effects. For example, for every 100 grams of red meat consumed daily, the risk of developing type 2 diabetes increases by 17%. And with processed meat, the risk jumps by a staggering 37% for every additional 50 grams consumed daily.
Those numbers are truly alarming, Alex. High red and processed meat intake is also linked to increased risks of cardiovascular disease, hypertension, and even all-cause mortality. The mechanisms behind these associations are multifaceted. Saturated fats, cholesterol, sodium, nitrates, and of course, haem iron all play a role in these negative health outcomes.
Exactly. The presence of haem iron in red meat has been linked to oxidative stress, which can damage pancreatic beta cells and contribute to insulin resistance. Processed meats, on the other hand, often contain high levels of sodium and nitrates, which can increase blood pressure and promote inflammation, further exacerbating the risk of type 2 diabetes.
And what's particularly interesting is that this risk isn't limited to red and processed meats alone. A comprehensive meta-analysis involving nearly 2 million adults across 20 countries found that even unprocessed red meat and poultry consumption were associated with an increased incidence of type 2 diabetes. For every 100 grams of unprocessed red meat consumed daily, the risk of developing type 2 diabetes increased by 10%. Even poultry showed a slight increase in risk.
That really challenges the notion that poultry is always a healthier alternative. While it might be better than red or processed meat in some respects, it's not entirely devoid of risk, especially when consumed in large quantities. This emphasizes the need for public health initiatives to address meat consumption patterns on a global scale, particularly as the prevalence of type 2 diabetes continues to rise.
Exactly, Alex. And that brings us to the impact of dietary changes. A microsimulation study estimated that reducing processed meat consumption in the U.S. by 30% could prevent approximately 352,900 cases of type 2 diabetes over 10 years. Similarly, a reduction in unprocessed red meat could prevent around 732,600 cases in the same time frame.
Those are some significant numbers. And it's not just about reducing meat intake. Substituting meat with plant-based protein sources, like nuts and legumes, has been shown to lower the risk of type 2 diabetes by up to 30%. This is where dietary modifications can serve as a powerful tool in combating the diabetes epidemic.
Absolutely, Alex. And speaking of dietary modifications, we can't overlook the role of herbal remedies in managing and preventing type 2 diabetes. In the Lost Book of Herbal Remedies, we've highlighted a number of herbs that have been traditionally used to support metabolic health and help regulate blood sugar levels. Let's dive into some of these powerful herbs.
One of the key herbs is cinnamon, known for its ability to improve insulin sensitivity and lower blood glucose levels. Cinnamon works by mimicking insulin, enhancing glucose transport into cells, which is essential for maintaining stable blood sugar levels.
Then there's fenugreek, another powerhouse herb. Fenugreek seeds are rich in soluble fiber, which helps lower blood sugar by slowing down carbohydrate digestion and absorption. This not only helps prevent spikes in blood sugar, but also supports overall digestive health.
Bitter melon is another herb worth mentioning. It contains 3 active substances with anti-diabetic properties, which help lower blood glucose levels by acting similarly to insulin. It's like having a natural insulin booster, helping to bring glucose into cells for energy.
And we can't forget about berberine, found in plants like berberis. Berberine has been shown to significantly reduce blood sugar levels in individuals with type 2 diabetes. It works by improving insulin sensitivity and promoting glucose uptake in peripheral tissues.
Gymnema sylvester, known as the sugar destroyer, is another important herb. It helps reduce sugar cravings and lower blood sugar levels, and it might even help regenerate the pancreatic islet cells that produce insulin.
That's fascinating, Alex. And turmeric, particularly its active component curcumin, is also crucial. Curcumin is a powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant that helps reduce inflammatory markers and oxidative stress, both of which are linked to insulin resistance and cardiovascular health.
In addition to these herbs, there are also supporting supplements like alpha-lipoic acid, ALA, and magnesium. ALA is an antioxidant that can improve insulin sensitivity and reduce symptoms of diabetic neuropathy, while magnesium is essential for glucose control, especially in those with low levels.
But remember, these herbs and supplements are most effective when combined with lifestyle changes. A plant-based diet rich in fiber, antioxidants, and healthy fats, along with regular physical activity, can make a significant difference in managing and preventing type 2 diabetes.
Absolutely, Emma. And it's crucial to regularly monitor blood glucose levels and consult with a healthcare provider before starting any new supplements, especially if you're already on medication for diabetes. It's all about finding the right balance to support your health.
Well said, Alex. By making informed dietary choices and incorporating herbal remedies, people can take proactive steps to manage and prevent type 2 diabetes. It's about supporting the body's natural systems and making lifestyle changes that lead to long-term health.
That wraps up our deep dive into the link between eating meat and type 2 diabetes and how herbal remedies can play a role in managing this condition.
Don't forget to check out the full article on our website for more detailed information.
Thanks for joining us today, everyone.
Take care and stay healthy.